Ooh, here we are on a Sunday night, and okay, I'm just going to start the whole thing by burping. Okay. Oof, that's a disgusting start to the stream, but at least you can't smell that. Hello, Madam Butterfly. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oof, I'm going to do it again. Oh, okay. That's okay. Even by my standards, that's a disgusting start to the stream. Should be ashamed of myself, honestly. Another of my clarified concoctions. Made this yesterday. Haven't tasted it yet. See what it's like. Okay. I have to keep doing that. I feel like I'm going to be sick if I don't. I know it's very gassy, isn't it? Is it gassy, Marge? Is it gassy? No, I did not have beans. Oh, you know, you imagined probably quite graphically you are genuinely lucky. Now I know why they smell so bad. Gorgonzola stuffed gnocchi for dinner. Blue cheese burps. God damn. Those are the famous burps that famously almost made it AIDSy vomit. Because he had one of the byproducts of his chemo treatment was sensitivity to smells. And big garlicky blue cheese burps, they are not good for him. And I did them in a closed car. He was not impressed. So count yourself lucky that you're left with your imagination for, I don't know, okay. Just adjusting the lighting. I think that's a little better. Damn. But yeah, sorry. I had to get them out of my system. That tastes very interesting. Made it with coconut milk. And you'll never believe this. It tastes really coconutty. I didn't know what this was going to taste like. There were various weird things in it. And then it clarified it with a mixture of coconut milk and dairy milk. And it's come out looking nice and clarified. Yeah, that's not bad. It's a kind of weird taste, but, you know, I don't mind a weird taste every now and then, as the actress said to the bishop. What is this fucking cocktail channel that keeps getting put on the Bing thing? Anyway, I'm going to see what's on the Discord, just in case there's a massage on there. It's a whole thing. We're gonna have a quiet Sunday. Maybe I could have done a cocktail. I just wasn't in the mood to make cocktail videos. So for date night was great. The place we went to when I booked, they have a set menu. Well, you can just order what you want, but you can also go these set menus. I love places with set menus because it usually means they're quite confident in their food, and you always get like something you wouldn't have ordered. So like broaden your horizons. So we ordered the set menu, and I noticed it's the only place I've seen do this. If you ordered cocktails ahead of time from their menu, it was like $20 each, as opposed to $23 to $25 at the restaurant. And so, because Mrs. Angry and I always order 3 cocktails each, so that's saving 20 or $30. So basically, getting a cocktail for free. So we did that. So that was a deal. Was it packed? It was pretty crowded. It wasn't absolutely packed. In fact, I applauded them. They have a few different spaces in this restaurant called Bobby Pearl in Brighton. And the upstairs bit we were in, just noticing they could have crammed a couple more tables in there. I've been to a lot of places where they maximize how many people they can jam in. And they could have easily squeezed in 3 or 4 more tables in this upstairs area, and they didn't. So we give them extra points for vibe because it's much more pleasant when there's not people right next to you, because I just don't like other people, basically, is what it comes down to. So, I don't want people interrupting date night. But we had a good time. Nice food. The curry was a bit hot because I'm a sort of wussy white person with curry. Oh, man, I forgot to wash this. Damn it. I have to try and remember to take this out to the kitchen. Wussy white person with curry. But flavors were good. But one of the dishes was Thai green curry, chicken curry, Thai green chicken curry. Anyway, it was good, but a little bit spicy for me. Reason you hate restaurants? Too many people. Oh yeah, no, too loud. And also their music wasn't too loud. It was a good vibe. Hey Greg, how you going? Didn't get heavy rain, but got constant rain for like well over 12 hours. Just sometime during the night it started, and it didn't really stop till like 5 in the afternoon. So more than 12 hours of just constant rain, which, is a good thing. Fletcher, how are you doing? So, yeah, that was a whole thing today. Hell yes, drink Australian. I love it with the US doing tariffs and people doing retaliatory tariffs. All the Canadians I know are getting pictures of Canadian liquor stores just having cleared the shelves of American products and just saying, fuck it. But I mainly buy Australian anyway with the booze. Oh, okay. So the support races got cancelled because of the rain, did they? And F1 went ahead. See, I wasn't paying attention because I don't care. We had the hot night last night. It got to like 35 during the day. Wasn't much below 30, like at 10 o'clock at night. I have not seen The Rock doing a whiskey yet. I mean, he had his name on a tequila. Most of the celebrity shit is shit. Yeah. Remarkable difference. Like, it's, God, this time last night, it was about 30 Celsius. Now it's 15. Feels like 12. So, yeah. Yeah, you can drink Canadian. I do actually have a very small number of American whiskies. Mostly Australian, 1 Irish, 2 or 3 Scotch, 1 Mexican. No, it's a Mexican rum, not a Mexican whiskey. You're a spice mouth? Yeah, I absolutely can't. I'm really wussy with spices. Supreme pizza. Did you miss? I started the stream by doing gross burps, which was my dinner coming back at me. Gorgonzola filled gnocchi, which was very yummy. But when I burped, it was a very sort of blue cheese burp. So even the people who were unfortunate enough to hear my very loud, gurgly burps, at least you couldn't smell them. Has Travis Fimmel got his own one? Okay, now I need to look that up. What's Travis Fimmel selling? Traveler? Oh, it's a beer. Okay, zero interest in beer. I mean, good on Travis Fimmel, but zero interested in beer. Get the USA whiskey while you can. You like American bourbon? Yeah. Yeah. No, I have a couple of American whiskeys. I won't be buying any more. You got feels like 10. Yeah, we got feels like 12. Yes, that's what I thought. You cheek is your backyard. And I tell you what, using the coconut milk in that gave it a really interesting flavor. Coconut, would you believe it? I might actually mix that with the mineral water. You're going to try and talk Sydney City Council turning off the Coke sign in King's Cross in protest. Clover Moore might go for it. Although I think it's too big a tourism thing. But I admire your spirit, Fletch. Oh god, now with that coconut taste in there, I feel like I could add some rum to it. A rum and coconut. Have a bigger cheese. Oh man, I was so relieved to hear King Island cheese is going to continue to exist, because it's like the people went and said they were going broke and they were going to shut down, but they found a buyer, a local buyer, which was nice. Yeah, this is just chilling Sunday night. God, I got excited today. A Facebook post that actually meant something to me. This distillery discovered last time, like we had a weekend away with Mrs. Angry. They're doing a special event on my birthday, so which is Easter weekend. So we're going away for Easter weekend. That's like 5 weeks away. So that'll be fun. Lots of fun. Just a flurry of booking, accommodation, and events and nights out. And it's like, hell yeah, birthday weekend going right off. Oh, is there a reason you'd be doing your birthday in Melbourne? No, I do actually have that whole week off work. But I'm just going to go like the weekend, and I'll be at home during the week. So it's like I'll go on Friday, come back on Monday, and then have that week off work, probably do a few things around the house. Oh, you were born there. Okay. Nice. Okay, I'm trying to make the burps less disgusting, but this is like something just building up. That was a suppressed burp, like it sounds. Yes, no party night on the Easter weekend. Are you one ahead of me, Fletch? I thought we were about the same age. I'm 5'9" this year. Oh God, why am I so gassy? I'm definitely blaming it on that gorgonzola-filled gnocchi. Oh, it was super yummy, but it's maybe coming back at me a bit. Oh, you know what I don't like? I don't like drinking straight from cans. So, like, you'll know I drink a lot of Pepsi Max, but I'll do it in my big glass on ice. Because when you pour the bubbly drink over ice, it effervesces and a lot of the bubbles go away. Like, if I'm ever out and about, I'll almost never get cans. I'll get bottles, because if you get a bottle, you can drink a bit, then you can shake it and then just and let some of the gas out. So it's just busy. I feel that, Fletcher. Like, literally in my joints, I feel that. Talking about bottles, yeah. Well, my thing is, as I just said, I literally shake it. You got to be careful, of course. You let it out very gently, but I shake it to get rid of some of the bubbles. Think of Donald Trump. Make my burps come out. Oh, it'd make me shit my pants. Yeah, I feel like just seeing out the weekend. It's only 8:16. Maybe. Okay, you've never tried that, Safa. That's my recommendation. I always do it with bottled fizzy drinks. But be careful, because, you don't want it to go everywhere. Right. I think I'll continue my grand tradition of making old fashioned. Well, for a start, those star ratings are kind of bullshit anyway. But yes, 0.5 stars is pretty bad. So Trump gave you migraines all week. Had your first beer in 15 years. Just so long as you don't overdo it. All right. I'm going to make an old fashioned. Okay. Ooh, I have a fresh batch of my brown sugar syrup. It's very actually. I'm making a fresh batch of my liqueur. Ooh, it's oozing out everywhere. What the fuck is that about? Got to shake it occasionally. Make sure the sugar syrup's mixed in. Man, that is just oozing. Oozing all over the tap as well. That's a bit weird. Wasn't expecting that. All right. Yeah, so I'm just going to barrel age that for a week or so. All right. So, sugar syrup. All right. No, the big question, what to make the old-fashioned with? Did something with rum and brandy the other day, didn't I? Maybe I'd just go back to, you know what? I need to use up this. There's only a little bit left. And it's actually not a good idea to save whiskey when there's only a little bit left, because it oxidizes, loses its flavor. It's actually, as this is a unique bottle, I can't replace it. It was a one-off. So as much as I'll be sad to see it go, I'll give it a good sample. I'm going to mix it with something. What will I mix it with? No, not that Hungarian oak. Banadone. Oh no, actually, I got the Bakery Hill blended here. So do that. It's a Bakery Hill old fashioned. Blend o' whiskies. And because I can, because I'm a fancy boy, We'll do a blend of bitters. Aromatic bitters. A little bit of black walnut. Might be a bit much. And a little bit, oh, shite, of orange bitters. Oh, got to down a bit there. Woo, Jesus. That black walnut bitters is really aromatic. And I guess I want some cherries. Where's my cherries? Where's my cherries? Do I like Mountain Dew? I do, actually. I don't have it that often, but I like it. Oh, Lou, you get a pain in the ass from the Social Security? Yes. Well, I had a haircut a couple of weeks ago, Greg, but this is the shortest my hair's been for a couple of years. Thank you for the compliment. Oh, I thought I had one there. Right. Anyway. Got to go for an eye test this week to see if I need to change my prescription. May or may not end up with new glasses. I haven't actually had these ones very long. My health insurance pays for a new pair of glasses every year, so I always get them. So I've got just a huge amount of old glasses I don't wear anymore. And I might have some more this week. Who knows? Home for the elderly. Hello. Heine, hello. Look at the lads all dropping in. Okay, and Gregory, you can throw together a video kit. Equipment out of storage. Nice. All right. Ooh, the old man grey hair mohawk. Punk's not dead. He's just collecting Social Security. I could, and it is long enough. Like, look at that. Get some serious product in there. I could do it. That's after a haircut. All right, how's this? St. Paddy's Day tomorrow. The choice is to smoke some green or drink some green, or both. A lot of people would be doing both. Rain be like that, Safa. I assume what you're saying is there's like some unevenness in your driveway, so there's a puddle. That's good. Either way, you end up spending some green. Yeah, that's the way. Eat some greens. Yeah. Actually, okay, random stuff. Tonight, just on a whim, because it's been recently added to Netflix, I started watching the old Eddie Murphy, Nick Nolte movie, 48 Hours. 40-year-old movie, 40-plus-year-old movie. And I tell you what, it's a fucking spin out. Like every second scene, there's a that guy in it. Like there's so many people, you look at them and go, oh shit, it's that guy. You know, sort of can't remember their name, or even necessarily place them. But there's that guy. I've seen that guy and stuff. I tell you what, just being old makes me feel old. But yeah, I thought my initial thought was 48 Hours was 30 years old. It's 40 years old. Okay, now I need to look this up while we're chatting because I didn't believe it. Like, Eddie Murphy's about 10 years younger than I thought he was. So we're going to do his IMDb. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Well, see, I was still in school, Safra. I probably saw it on video. Oops, clicked on the wrong thing. Okay, where are we? Eddie Murphy's IMDb. That's right, because there's a new Shrek movie. There you go. Okay, let's look at his previous. Okay. What did he start at? No, what the fuck? Let's go back. So his stand-up thing, 1983. Wait, this is 48 Hours isn't in there. What the fuck? Also known as Fred Broughton? Okay, so he's only born in 1961. This is reinforcing it. So fucking 48 Hours was 1982, and I don't know why it's not on this list, why it stops at 1983. Oh, wait, those are producer credits? Fucking hell, where are we? Actor, previous. Okay. Jesus, where are we going? Going. So 48 Hours, 1982, then Trading Places 82. So he was only fucking 20? He was only 20 years old when they shot 48 Hours. Yeah, it took me ages to go. Yeah, so this 42-year-old movie, 43-year-old movie. So Eddie Murphy is only 20 years old in 48 Hours. Nick Nolte is 20 years older than him. They look roughly the same age. If they both look like 30-year-olds. Eddie Murphy looks like a 30-year-old who looks good for his age, and Nick Nolte looks like a 30-year-old who looks shit for his age. But Nick Nolte's over 40 and Eddie Murphy's 20. That did my head in. That absolutely did my head in. Like, look at this photo. Not that that's a very clear photo, but Eddie Murphy's 20 in that photo, and Nick Nolte's over 40. Look at that. 20, and that, Nick Nolte's over 40. Okay, add for read. There's no way Eddie Murphy looks 20 there. He looks so much older. Like, Nick Nolte is 2 Eddie Murphy's years old there. Holy shit. Also, when was he on? When was he on Saturday Night Live? I'm going to look that up. Scrolling back through his fucking thing. Yeah, okay. He was on Saturday Night Live for 2 years before he did 48 Hours. That's what I thought. He was on Saturday Night Live from 80 to 84. Beverly Hills Cop was when he's finally like, yeah, I'm out of here. Damn. No, do I sound like I have a cold coming on? Now you're making me cough. Man, I got to be careful with that black walnut bitters. It's really intense. Yeah, but and I agree with you, Madam Butterfly. In the 70s and 80s, I mean, you had people who were washed up losers whose life was over. That was their character, and they were only in their 30s. The idea of being an old, broken down loser in your 30s is pretty harsh. Don't think I'm actually on NBN, but I haven't seen anything playing up with my internet. Apart from the fact I had very bad problems getting StreamYard to work on Friday night. I'm starting to think this laptop is the problem, although the problem is the absolute worst sort of problem, an intermittent problem with no clear cause. Ask anyone who's, in tech. The absolute worst sort of problem is an intermittent one. Yeah, like I said, StreamYard gives me no problems 9 times out of 10, 19 times out of 20. And then one time it'll just fuck up. I've gotten into the habit of trying to remember to test it 15 minutes before I want to go live. Because then if it's fucking up, I at least spend that time trying to get it to work. It took half an hour to get it to work on Friday night. So the stream started like 15, almost 20 minutes late. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Solar flare messing with stuff. Yeah, I don't think that's the problem. So it's just like frustrating as bejesus. No, I was blaming StreamYard for the longest time. I genuinely think the problem might be this laptop. But it's very hard because it started having a problem. It wouldn't play YouTube videos either, which is obviously nothing to do with StreamYard. Suddenly I was going to go and test on YouTube, but I'm really worried if I play a YouTube video, it won't work, and it will fuck up StreamYard as well. You know what, though? Curiosity is getting the better of me. No, that started straight away. Okay. All right, well, that answers that. It's not fucking up tonight if I do that. Eddie Murphy looked younger in Coming to America in 88. But he's older than he was in 4. Yeah, well, it was 6 years later. Well, that would be an interesting test. What happens in the Canadian election? And has the Trump fuckery upset thing for the Conservatives, who looked like they were going to piss it in? Yeah, will the Liberals win instead? Who knows? No, I didn't even get that. I just got an endless spinny thing. And StreamYard kept saying, oh, your microphone and camera are inaccessible. And they're not. It's something to do with browsers. This laptop and browsers, something weird's happening. Oh, won't that be fun? Australia and Canada in election mood at the same time. Oh, okay. I'll say, after the 80s, two really underrated Eddie Murphy movies that came out the same year, 92. I just saw them on the IMDb. Boomerang and The Distinguished Gentleman. They're both really good, and I think they're seriously underrated. But if we look at his whole list, post 80s, we'll go after another 48 hours. So 92 was both Boomerang and The Distinguished Gentleman. He's doing a bunch of fucking music videos. Beverly Hills Cop 3. Vampire in Brooklyn. That was not a great movie, but I kind of enjoyed it. Didn't think of those. Okay, what are your favorites after the 80s? No, Mrs. Angry wasn't. And I've said we don't have NBN. Yeah, Boomerang was great. Just reversing the male-female roles in relationships. The Nutty Professor, which was a big hit, but I don't really like. I liked him as Mushu in Mulan, actually. Metro was just a Beverly Hills Cop wannabe. Dr. Dolittle, God is Winning. Oh, Holy Man was a terrible one. Life. Bowfinger. Bowfinger is a weird and little known one. But Bowfinger with Steve Martin is quite worth watching just for the weirdness. Dr. Dolittle. Showtime with Robert De Niro. Well, that was not good. The Adventures of Pluto Nash. Spectacular bomb. I Spy. A bomb. Daddy Daycare, I think, was actually successful. Haunted Mansion, that was a bomb. Then like Shrek 2. All the Shrek stuff. It was like a supporting role in Dreamgirls, I think. Norbit, that was a weird one. Not really into it. Meet Dave, wasn't really into that. Imagine that. More Shrek stuff. God, he did so many music videos. Okay, a couple of years ago, Dolomite Is My Name. That's worth watching. That was about 5 years ago. Absolutely worth watching that one. Coming to America, I haven't seen, but no one thinks much of it. I didn't see You People or Candy Cane Lane. The Axel F. Beverly Hills Cop movie, that wasn't terrible, but it kind of highlighted how stupid 80s action movies were, because they did it as an 80s action movie, and you sat there going, yeah, you wouldn't do that. Yeah, Dolomite Is My Name. Okay, you would have picked Bowfinger. I probably have to re-watch Bowfinger because it was so weird. Yeah, I don't think you missed anything by not watching Holy Man, Madam Butterfly. Yes, Shrek is love. Shrek is life. Okay, I didn't watch it, so I don't know. Just a lot of people poo-pooed it. Fuck me. That little chip on this glass is actually quite sharp. As much as it's a tiny defect, I'm probably going to have to retire this glass or I'm going to cut myself. Which is a shame. Put that away. I'm going to have some mineral water. All right. Let's get... Wow, I've almost gone through this. Wow, I hope it's on special again this week. Getting through these mineral waters. Yeah, well, I think the shop where I can get them, if they're in stock, might go there at lunchtime when I'm in the office Monday or Tuesday. Okay, I can't bring myself to get rid of it until I get a replacement. Just this tiny chip on the rim. But that's the whole thing. Yeah, Candy Cane Lane was a Christmas movie, yeah. So I'll probably go to, it's the Bitters Lab in Fitzroy. Go there because I can get a tram straight from the city to there. I have to see how many fucking meetings I have if I have enough time to do that. Use my lunchtime to do that. But go there and see if they have that glass in stock. And who knows, maybe on a whim, get something else, maybe some bitters from the hundreds of different sorts of bitters they have at the Bitters Lab. I don't really need any, so I probably shouldn't. But, you never know. They might have a friggin' unique drink I want to get. Apparently, there's a poll that said people who support forcing public service office predominantly tax. Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense. Grumpy boomer shitheads. Loogie, take a small amount of 2-part epoxy, some sandpaper, chip repair. Oh, nice creative solution, Loogie. I like it. The only downfall is my complete lack of handy skills. But okay, Loogie, again, you sound like you know what you're talking about. So, where is it? It won't show up on there. It's no, it won't show up because it's tiny. There's literally this is thin, quite delicate. Well, it's not that delicate. It's high quality, and there's a little chip there. I don't know that your solution worked because I literally don't know. Dutton's been walking back forcing public servants back to work because, apparently, his whole party's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why are you saying things like that? That's not going to win us any votes. We'll probably lose us some. Shut the fuck up." Yeah, boomers who retired before COVID aren't in touch with how things have changed. Yes. And also boomers who just like to complain. It wouldn't soft these days. We want something for nothing. They all want something for nothing. It's like, shut the fuck up. Fucking boomers. Honestly. I did sleep in my marital bed. Not that we're married. On Friday night. Because it got a bit quiet on the stream. And so that's the rule I have with Mrs. Angry. If I finish before midnight, I can go into bed because she can usually go back to sleep if I wake her up. There was a little fruit fly type thing buzzing around in here. There's some actual flies in the kitchen today, big ones. So I went on a hunting thing with my assault rifle. Got one of them, but one of them fucking escaped. Bacon baguette was good. Thank you, Safa. I did my weekend ritual. I do like my weekend rituals. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to dash off to the office tomorrow. I'm going to take a light and easy lunch into the office. I had it on Saturday and Sunday. Just living up the whole weekend. So I'll probably have a protein bar for breakfast tomorrow. Shouldn't be in too much of a hurry. Have a light and easy meal for lunch. Mixing it up a bit. You suspect millennials will be harder than previous generations for liberals to win over. They're not being screwed over in ways baby boomers aren't. It was a really interesting statistic that for the first time this federal election, the combination of Zoomers and millennials is a bigger voting bloc than boomers. The first time that's happened, which I think should be worrying the conservatives. Mind you, as we've seen in America, they're a pack of fuckhead conservative reactionaries in all generations. Oh no, coughing and passing on germs over the internet. Well, I'm waiting for the next time I have a sore throat. Mrs. Angry makes me this really nice hot tea thing, and I've got this really spicy ginger liqueur to add to it. Purely medicinal reasons. I have some booze in my hot honey tea. Actually, I do a no spoiler thing. I made a note to myself to talk about this. Another thing I watched on Netflix today, because people talked it up. There's a new series on Netflix called Adolescence. And it centers around a 13-year-old accused. It's English. Centers around a 13-year-old accused of murder. But the big hype thing is they're like 1 hour episodes. Each episode is a single shot. There is no editing. And they get really tricky. They get into moving vehicles. Somehow they go from following people around with ground shots to being a drone shot to being back on the ground. So they really set themselves complex technical and acting challenges. And the funny thing is, it's pretty compelling. Even though I was hyper conscious of the whole hype behind this thing is that each episode is a single continuous shot. Kind of started to forget that because it's just focusing on the performances. So I thoroughly recommend Adolescence on Netflix. Justin's tendency for people to come. That is true. People broadly get more conservative as they get older. Oh, and boomers, like, someone with a single income working class job could own their own home and raise a family. Well, I like to think I'm getting more radical as I get older. Fucking voting for the oligarchs to all be imprisoned until everyone in the supply chain of stuff that actually made their wealth is properly compensated, and B, any pollution and damage caused by their business is cleaned up. You know what? If my rule was followed, if everyone in the supply chain was properly compensated and they had to pay to clean up their mess, the oligarchs would lose 90% of their wealth, which would still make them obscenely wealthy. It's just we've lost all sense of reality in the last few decades. This disparity between rich and poor, every single time that's happened in history, it's resulted in violent revolution. And the oligarchs are so sure it won't happen to them this time. I'm waiting for them to get a big fucking shock. But yeah, it's weird that people. And okay, I should cop to, just because something's happened in the past doesn't mean it will happen again in the future. Can I prove the oligarchs are all going to get what's coming to them? No, I can't. Can I have a vibe that that's going to happen? Maybe. Planes crashing, planes catching fire. That's just the thing planes do, isn't it? Haven't planes always done that? What'd you put in here, Safa? Oh yeah, okay. That's actually a pretty good graphic. I am just going to share that. Musk in 2012, 2 billion. 2024, over 400 billion. Bezos in 2012, 18 billion. 2024, 250 billion. Zuckerberg in 2012, 44 billion. In 2024, over 200 billion. US minimum wage, 2009, 7.25 an hour. 2024, 7.25 an hour. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing is it's unsustainable, and the people in power are in denial about that. Yes, I think the clock is ticking on that on Qantas, but yeah, it's the US. Less and less care being taken in industries generally. Well, it obviously fluctuates a lot, SAFA, the exchange rate, but it's over $10 an hour in Australian dollars. Yeah, well, this is the robber barons. This is the Gilded Age. And in fact, okay, you actually raise a good point there, Lukey. The robber barons didn't get overthrown in violent revolution. They were taxed into fucking restraint. They were still obscenely, exactly like I said, you follow my rule. Yep, the oligarchs will lose 90% of their wealth, which means they'll still have an obscene amount of wealth, but it just won't be quite as obscene. You just need to tax them. It's like, no, this is bullshit. Yes, the fact the US minimum wage doesn't go up is definitely fucked. Yeah, it means you get poorer unless you're in a strong negotiating position. So you need to join a union, people. So that'd be the other thing. Like, say if the next state election in Victoria, the Libs win, which is a distinct possibility, and they go, yeah, public servants work in the office 5 days a week. I'm in the union, man. Fuck them. Safa, I don't know what you're talking about, but the short answer is no. There may be something Labor's talking about doing, but I mean, like, literally, for the robber barons, a wealth above a certain point was taxed at 90%, which was a good fucking idea. It restrained, it didn't stop, but it restrained exploitative behavior from the oligarchs. So all you can do with them, you can only restrain them. You can't fucking stop them. So yeah, it's a whole thing. What does that mean, Justin? If the New South Wales Public Service is anything to go by, it'd be a huge joke. You take Greyhound buses everywhere? Buses certainly explode less. Honestly, planes, you are more at risk of a road accident than a plane accident. But there has been a disturbing number of plane mishaps in the US this year. So, yikes is all I say about all the things happening. Man, that one that crashed and there was all that really spectacular dash cam footage and whatnot because it fucking crashed in a suburban area, just kablooey. And it's like, God damn, there was some intense video of that one. All right, so it got floated in New South Wales, but failed. Oh, it would absolutely fail. Well, it has to fail because, okay, first there's the actual award agreement where flexibility is built in. So then it would be like, okay, that agreement expires. Say it expired during the term of a Liberal government, and the Liberal government went, right, we want everyone back in the office 5 days a week. It's like, no, we're not backing down on that. And there'd be industrial action, and they'd lose because it's just a dumb fucking idea. Like, every reason the Liberals spouted for saying they do it to the federal public service is just absolute bullshit. Just these meaningless things like, oh, productivity. What it's like, you know what? That's just all the blather of bad managers. It's like, do people have a job to do? Are they getting their job done? If yes, shut the fuck up. It shouldn't matter where they are. If no, then it's the manager's responsibility to manage that, no matter where they're fucking working. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But Howard never quite got his. He really wanted to fucking destroy industrial labor laws in Australia, and the Libs still want to do it. That is absolutely their goal, and Labor need to do a scare campaign, and by scare campaign, I mean point out the truth of the fuckery a Dutton government would do, because it would be royally fucked. Yeah, that was work choices, which was take away choice from workers. It was roll back decades of industrial relations. Was Howard an authoritarian? He was a fucking prick. He was an absolute fucking prick. He is an evil sack of shit who weaponized. He's responsible for the weaponization of racism in Australian politics, modern Australian politics. Labor's responsible for, because they were too gutless to stand up to it. It goes right back to the lies that Howard's mob spread, like children overboard. Just that decision to make racism a central part of his policy is a fucking abomination. And yes, his desire to absolutely fuck over ordinary workers and destroy the industrial relation system was also fucked. The racism was worse. Imagine if politicians didn't lie. Yeah, you could argue that Howard didn't lie a lot. He was just really open about being an absolute piece of shit. Because he was an absolute piece of shit. Sorry, I'm not going to show this video in case I get content matched, but I'm going to look at it. John Howard Bowley. Oh, God, yes. Because John Howard was a cricket tragic. In the abstract, he loved cricket, But yeah, there's a very funny video of him trying to get in a cricket match, and he's absolute shit. You should watch that video. It's very funny. It is very funny. That was really funny, and that blew up in his face. Yeah, for those who don't remember, Costello was his deputy, and Howard had a deal with him that he would step down mid-term, and so Costello could be prime minister and have a couple of years run up to an election they would hopefully win. But Howard just decided, and he may have been correct in this, that no, Costello can't win an election, and it's important that the Conservatives stay in power. So he broke his deal with Costello, which made Costello resign. And the subsequent election that he was convinced Costello couldn't win, the Conservatives not only lost government, Howard lost his seat in the election, which was fucking gold. What a piece of shit. That was rampant egocentrism, and also really fucked shit to have made a deal with your deputy and then to back out on it. What a piece of shit. It's kind of why Rudd had to go. Not that he made a deal with his deputy, but like Gillard kept saying she wouldn't stand against him. But he was a paranoid fucking ratbag. And so he went around shit talking Gillard to everyone because he was sure, and he was correct, that significant majority of the Labor caucus thought he had to go, and they were more in favor of Gillard than him. But Gillard was saying, I won't make a move. But then Rudd went and shit talked her to everyone, and then she found out, and it was actually Shorten who told her. And so she just went into Rudd's office and basically said, you no longer have my confidence. Also, go fuck yourself. And walked out, and like she was resigning as deputy. But then Rudd saw the writing on the wall, and he resigned as leader. And then there was like an internal vote, and Gillard became leader. And yes, Keating had a deal, and Hawke backed out on that. And Keating just went, yeah, you know what, dude? You haven't had a fucking idea in a decade. Everything that's worked for this government has been my idea. Fuck you. I resign as deputy, and I'm sitting on the backbench. And I know a lot of people in the media mocked him for a while because his thing was like, I'm just going to sit on the backbench till people go, oh my God, we've got to, make him leader. And that ended up happening. Hawke got told, you don't have the legs, son. So Hawke did step aside, and Keating became leader, and Hawke resigned Parliament. And Hawke was sure that Keating would lose the federal election and he'd get to go hardy ha ha. Lo and behold, Keating won the election, made Hawke eat shit. So yeah. Oh yeah, no, fuck Shorten, honestly. Because he was also instrumental in replacing Gillard with Rudd. And the fact that Shorten was elevated to the leadership after fucking things up twice. Because honestly, all things being equal, what happened to Rudd the first time shouldn't have happened. Yeah, Rudd was an absolute cunt on the backbench. Rudd was a vile, toxic piece of shit. And the media loved it and played it up. And spineless fucks in the Labor Party let it happen. Keating, from my memory, was not as spiteful as Rudd. Wasn't a big election win, but it was a win that people didn't really expect. There was definitely a recession when Keating was either treasurer or PM. Yeah. Oh, again, yeah, dude, economics is bullshit. It's a bunch of made up shit. It's all fairy tales, but it's fairy tales told by people who fucking control power and wealth so it gets treated like reality. But yes, Keating famously said, yes, the economy is in recession, but it's a recession we had to have. I'm not having a heater on tonight. I'm not going from having the aircon on to the heater on in 24 hours. It's relatively easy to not be cold in bed. Short and left politics, W salary becoming University of Canberra Vice Chancellor. There you go. Breakfast time for Loogie. Getting some eggs. Nice. Yeah. Almost all leading politicians make more money after politics than during politics. We have a gas heater, gas ducted heating. On cold winter's days, it's fucking delicious. And yeah, notoriously, our cats loved it. They would just fucking lie on the vents going, yeah, this fucking rocks. I love this. They're very affronted when it gets to the time of the year where it's still not summer, but we're not turning on the vents anymore. Well, now it's only one cat, of course, but they're very affronted. But what happened to the magic warmth from the floor? Fuck you people. What's going on? That's how I interpret their body language anyway. So, I'm being a decadent boy. No, I didn't bother putting a label. Oh, God, I'm so gassy. On the barrel that's got the liqueur in it, because I know that it's only going to stay in there about a week. Feb 27 and Feb 22. Okay, they've not been in there long. So the Neds, I'm thinking 4 months, because the other cheap whiskies I left in the barrels for 4 months and they tasted real good. But I'll probably try it at the 2-month mark. So after I come back from Easter weekend, I might taste test both the Neds and the rye you make, which is a higher quality spirit than the Neds in my Opinion. My old fashioned. Pre-made old fashioned. I'm just going to pour myself a mini old fashioned. Because I'm a wild and crazy guy, and I can do that sort of thing. Oh, got my Infinity whiskey bottle there. Next time I'm thinking of making something with whiskey, I should use my Infinity whiskey. Saying some pollies make more money by doing... Yes. Oh, like ex-US presidents can make hundreds of thousands of dollars from a single appearance. But I'm about to get an electric fireplace. Yeah, drinking hot chocolate, plotting mood. See, I can see you. See, this is what I see you around your electric fire, Madam Butterfly, with a hot drink, a hot toddy, and wearing one of those nightgowns that has the fur trim on it, and plotting how to have your rich husband have an accident. And then when the police show up late at night to ask you questions, you go, "No, officer, I haven't seen my husband in days. I'm terribly worried." I'm just saying, that's the vibe. That's the vibe I'm getting. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm saying that with admiration. You just have a cool change. It's been cool all day here. And the rain. I assume the rain was like leftovers from the tropical cyclone. It makes sense from the timing. What's the map look like? Oh, it looks like there's still a bit of rain about, but it seems to be traveling. Oh wow! Oh no, I think okay. the way that bit over southern New South Wales and eastern Victoria, I feel like that's what we had earlier. That's a lot of rain just crossing the east coast now. We've still got bits of rain around here. But it's true. Oh, there's quite a bit of it going over Tassie too. Okay, the southeastern corner of Australia, lots of rain. Okay. Now, while we're doing exciting weather talk, tomorrow's 20 and maybe some more rain. Tuesday 25, no rain. Wednesday 32, Jesus Christ, no rain. Thursday 29, maybe more rain. Friday 27, maybe a little rain. Saturday 25, maybe a little rain. 32 on Wednesday is a bit of a surprise. Anyway. No, yeah, the direction the rain's coming, it's come from Antarctica. Yeah. And by the way, I was on the mark. You'll call your cousin who's a police officer, or you get your cousin to investigate. Nice. Nice. Sajuk, how you doing? Nice to see you. We're just having a Sunday night chill session here, doing exciting stuff like talking about the weather and elections. Also, I was thinking about like that show I was talking about earlier on Netflix, Adolescence, where the entire 1 hour episode is a single shot. Trying to think of other TV shows or movies that have long continuous shots. I don't know anyone who's done a whole series where 1 hour episodes were single shots, but I do remember season 1 of True Detective had a really spectacular action sequence that was a very long single shot. Cold in Berlin, Sajuk? Noish. Last few days of what exactly? Oh, okay. In Australia. I missed that. You're in Australia for a few more days. Okay. You in Canberra shouldn't use your heated Anzac Day. Yeah, it comes down to when it actually gets cold. Simple as that. And I expect it to get cold in Canberra before it does in Melbourne, actually. Is Canberra higher altitude? I just always associate Canberra with very cold winters. Having gone there with AIDSy in winter. I mentioned the fruit fly thing just flying in front of my face there. Very distracting. You're in Geelong. It's quite cold. Yeah. After very surprisingly cold day today after how hot it was yesterday. Yeah, like Mrs. Anger and I going out for date night and it's still over 30. And we're like, oh man, fuck that. That's what I thought. Okay, yes. Canberra is higher altitude. Yeah, because although it's quite a bit further north than Melbourne, I just always associated it with colder winters. And I assumed that was an altitude thing. Thank you for clarifying, Justin. Can you hear everyone from Geelong? Can hear them from my place for sure. District heating in your flat in Berlin. Don't really use it. €400 bill. Damn. Okay. Yeah, no, I've got a couple of $100. I think I've got a $600 electricity bill, something ridiculous. For the air conditioning. Yeah, rain on the roof. There's like 12 plus hours of rain today. Pretty amazing stuff. Don't know when it started, like sometime after midnight, but in the wee small hours. And it didn't really stop till 5. Justin, looking forward to getting out of Canberra. Okay. I'm interested. Does your doctor just hate Canberra? Get out of Canberra. Get Melbourne. Canberra's fucked, man. I heard F1s all the time. Yeah. Ah, are those wood stoves, Sajuk? Your house in the country? Oh, what? No, they're not going all night. The F1s are only going during the day. And you can't hear them inside my house. When I was in East St Kilda, you could hear them inside the house. Here you can't hear them inside the house, but you go outside, you can hear them. So the mega efficient coal burners. Okay. But you've never gotten around to using them. Okay. Ah, the rain. Sorry. No, it wasn't heavy enough. I have been woken up by rain during the night before, like when it's a storm. But this night, this rain wasn't heavy enough to wake me up. It's just kind of woke up, 6 or 7 a.m. and it's like, it's raining. And it had been predicted to start raining not long after midnight. He's used based on knowing you what you've had to do. So he thinks just from a stress perspective, and I tend to agree with your doctor, quite honestly. Yeah, 2 a.m. thunderstorms. And like if it hails, and I've had that, sort of wake up to this thunderous drumming. It's like, it's hailing. Got a skylight in the hallway out there. And it's like a tiled roof. So tiled roofs aren't that noisy with rain or hail, but the skylight has got a like perspex. I don't think it's glass. I think it's perspex at the top, but that rattles if heavy rain or hail hits it. So your custom built East Euro Warsaw packed chambered ceramic heaters, brickworks, very good craftsmanship, stay warm for a few days. Nice. That's where there's again, people in Europe know how to make things to keep you warm because those cold Northern Europe winters. Oh, is that the preferences for Canberra people? Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney in that order. Okay. Intriguing. Oh, fuck yeah, Dubbo hailed. Yeah. I mean, Dubbo is dry as fuck. But we would get the occasional storms as well. Occasional floods as well, actually. Wouldn't flood the whole town, but the river would overflow and the places near the river would get flooded. Because like most country towns, there's a river goes through Dubbo. No, my house never flooded. Far enough away from the river that's not a thing. But yeah, there's a couple bridges across the river and they've been challenged by the occasional flood. It was worse before the dam was built. The dams reduce the likelihood of flood, but sometimes with really heavy rains, the dam's full and they have to open the sluice gates and then pity all the fools downriver, which includes Dubbo. We used to make people from Sydney believe there was a thing in Dubbo called the 5 o'clock wave, where we say at 5 o'clock, the dam sluice gates would open and release a huge amount of water that would flow down the river in a wave, and everyone would get on surfboards and sit on the river and wait for this wave to come and ride the wave as far as they could. And we'd make up all these things like the record was, 10 kilometers someone had ridden the wave for. And just say it with an absolute straight face. And people start to think maybe you're telling the truth. There is a dam in Wellington, which is not far from Dubbo, but that fed straight into the Macquarie River, which came through Dubbo. Now, it wasn't hydroelectric. It was literally just a water storage dam. Dam's bigger than your dam. At capacity, the Burrendong Dam in Wellington, which is near Dubbo, is about 2.5 times bigger than Sydney Harbour. Like, at capacity, it's a big fucking dam. And twice in my lifetime, I think the Burrendong dams dropped to less than 15% capacity, which is this close to disaster. And it's never gone completely dry. The rains have always come back. But that's like a 5-10 year drought that makes that happen. And that happened in the 70s, early 80s, and happened again about 10 years ago. Like capacity, but that happened in Melbourne too. Our reservoirs had dropped, like our main reservoir had dropped to less than 20% capacity, which is like fucking panic stations. But we've had a lot of rain since then. The dams have basically been over capacity for, I don't know, the last decade. Oh God, I can't even conceive of living in Canberra, Justin. You're a stronger individual than me. That's all I'm saying. Oh Jesus, no. Canberra, living in Canberra, no. Whole thing about Melbourne being most livable city, that's not bullshit. Accommodation's too expensive. Housing and rental is too expensive here, but and it's getting more expensive, not less. But fucking Jesus, I don't want to live anywhere else. Put it that way. So you've got to fight my landlord who proposed a 10% rent increase. I'm going to push back and go, no. Inflation's only 2.4%. What the fuck are you talking about? 10%? Fuck you. But of course, the downside is if I was forced to move, that would suck big time. That would be fucking awful. So I do not want to do that. So yeah, push comes to shove. Maybe I'm paying way more than I want to. What I find hard about living in Canberra, it's Canberra. It's just, I don't know. It's too cold in winter. And okay, to be fair, I am definitely speaking from a position of complete ignorance. I do not know what it's like to live in Canberra. I just don't feel good about it. I do know what it's like to live in Melbourne, and I like that. So I'm sticking with Melbourne. Melbourne Water, stealing water from Regional Vic in the Millennium Drought. I mean, I don't get how that works, but I mean, maybe. Stealing seems like a really strong word, but yeah. Well, we did get to that stage where the main reservoir for Melbourne was definitely under 20%. And I mean, that's fucking panic stations. Yeah, I'd actually let you sort things out with my landlord, Madam Butterfly. But I'm thinking that they're just trying it on. Like, I hate haggling with a fucking passion. So I think I should go vanilla. But I'm going to say, look, again, 2.4% is like inflation is what any rent increase should be limited to. And then they're probably going to come and say, well, we're going to say 5%. And then I'll say 3%. I just fucking hate it. Like I'm like literally saying, no, this is the amount I want. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to turn into a fight. I don't know if the landlord's going to dig their heels in. I don't think they are. I think it's sort of a bullshit sort of gambit on their part, but who the fuck knows? Yeah, I think Canberra's more expensive because of the captive audience, the public servants and the pollies and everything that goes with it. I don't know. I'm still kind of annoyed with myself that I'm not more property investment oriented. Because when I first moved to Melbourne in the late 90s, it was orders of magnitude easier to get a decent house in a decent location. Like, oof, the opportunities that were there that I didn't go for because I'm just not an investment minded person, which, works against me in this capitalist fucking hellscape that we live in. How many of my siblings own their own home? I have no idea. Most of them? All of them? I don't know. They all live in country towns, though. There's a couple live in Brisbane. Brisbane's just a big country town. Actually, what is Brisbane's population? I'm so bad at knowing the population of Brisbane. Population. 2.71 million. That's slightly more than I thought. I thought it might have been between 1 and 2 million. 2.71 is bigger than I thought. Yeah, so Melbourne and Sydney are both about 5 million. So Melbourne and Sydney are both roughly double the population of Brisbane. But good on you, Brisbane, giving it a red hot go. Go through the capitals now. Okay, yeah. See, Adelaide's 1.42 million. I thought Brisbane was more like that. But Brisbane's actually much better. Bigger, I should say, not better. Perth's 2.3 million. Okay. Now, Hobart and Darwin, they're going to be country towns. Geez, Hobart's only 189,000. Okay. That is tiny. What's Darwin? 148. Okay, they're tiny. They're fucking tiny. Wait, what's Tasmania's whole population? Tasmania's only 500,000. Okay, so Brisbane's bigger than I expected, and Hobart and Darwin are actually a bit smaller than I expected. Oh, excellent question, Madam Butterfly. I mean, I grew up in the country the first 20 years of my life in the country, but, 25? But, now I'm coming up on... I've lived in capital cities longer than I lived in the country. And I've lived in Melbourne longer than I've lived anywhere. I'm up to 28 years in Melbourne, and I only lived 18 years in Dubbo. Less than 19 years in Dubbo. So, to 28 years in Melbourne. So this is where I've lived the longest in my life. Justin, watched a short film. A bunch of investors made money off 9/11, found out one of their colleagues died while partying about how much money they made. Yes, capitalism is fucked. Excellent call, Justin. I have no idea what you're asking there, Safa. So, yes. Adelaide's about what I expected. Perth's about what I expected. Brizzy is bigger than I expected. And Hobart and Darwin are actually even smaller than I expected. How would you like... Oh, fuck no. Sea change? I'm going to go not really with an asterisk. retirement would be a different thing, of course, but it would literally be retirement, not to work. My short thing would be no, but asterisk, you never know. I lived in Sydney about a bit less than 10 years. Oh, did I not do Canberra? Let's do Canberra. Oops, my typing. Canberra. Okay, less than 500,000. So, yeah. Canberra's just a fucking country town. See, again, me being my cosmopolitan, sophisticated self, Canberra's... Ooh! Loogie. Okay, I'm going to share... Loogie's made breakfast. I'm going to share it because it looks good. That looks good. That looks like a quality breakfast right there. Nicely done, that man. So yeah, Canberra's population is a bit lower than I expected, actually. Only 500,000. Country town with a big city attitude. Sounds like a tagline for a Netflix series. She was a girl from a country town with a big city attitude. Like a Home for the Holidays rom-com thing, where that girl who left her country town to be a high-powered big city lawyer goes home to fall in love with this salt-of-the-earth hunk who runs the local bakery. That's me, Madam Butterfly. I am a sophisticated motherfucker. That is absolutely me. Sophisticated. There's no stopping how sophisticated this motherfucker is. I tell you what. There's just no stopping my sophistication. Everyone in Canberra is from somewhere else. I swear to fuck, when I was in Sydney, almost everyone I knew was from somewhere else. I did know a few people who were born in Sydney, but a few, small number. Oh, sorry, actually, random yawn. Small number of my friends were from Sydney. Everyone was from somewhere else. Leviogine, as an American living on a farm, kind of close. Whereabouts is your farm? 7 egg omelet for you, Loogie. Damn, that sounds good, man. That sounds real good. I still remember being at school in Dubbo when the population of Dubbo was, I don't know, 25,000. It's like 35,000 now. It's 15,000 when I was little. But so, like, we're at school and we had this student teacher came in who was actually an American who was on exchange to a university in Australia. And then they're doing student teaching in fucking Dubbo. Anyway, and they're giving a talk to the class. And she's like, yeah, I'm from a small town in California. It's like about 220,000 people. And we were like, fucking what? Like at that point in the 80s, I feel like there was only, outside the capital cities, there was only a handful of cities in Australia that were bigger than that. Levio, Fredonia, that Pennsylvania, small town with lots of class. I like it. Lots of class. Try to memorize the American abbreviations for states. Yes, I got it. Thank you. Pennsylvania. Madam Butterfly, cheesy eggs, bacon, putting it on a bagel for your breakfast. Nice. I feel like of our intimate little group tonight, I'm feeling like about half the group is in the continental US today, with Livio coming in, being in Pennsylvania. Lugie's in the South. Madame Butterfly is in the South as well, if I remember. So, Livio, old people, a lot of new, nice. Sejuk, eggs and hollandaise. Ooh, eggs Benedict. Yeah. With the extras. You're 25. You're a young'un. So Luke's actually identifying as Midwestern. Trying to remember Madame Butterfly, like in Memphis or in that area. Is that right? You do have that lovely Southern accent. And I say that because Madame Butterfly has actually holidayed in Melbourne a couple of times. We were actually able to catch up. I know more. You got chickens and cattle. Lots of farming in Australia. Livio. Let's say your username could be Levi Eugene or Livio Eugene. Could be pronounced a couple of different ways. But farming is a pretty big deal in Australia too. Is that on your grinder profile, Justin? 35, but some say I look 24. Oh, yeah. Just, I don't want to open another can of mineral water. I'm just saying, like, my ice melts occasionally, so I get a bit of water to drink. Yeah, no, eggs with the whole avian flu thing is a big deal. You got your own? I love that, Loogie. You're 33. People tell you you look 50. Yeah, Safa's kind of baby-faced. Yeah. Your brother's 30. People think they're 22. All right. Yeah, okay. I'm glad I got that right. Memphis. Number one crime city. We're a number one. We're a number one. $2.50 US a dozen to your neighbors and friends. Yeah, I think I haven't tried. I don't eat eggs that often. I haven't tried to buy them pre all the drama when they're available, because there's a huge variation between, like, the battery hen eggs and the free range ones. So $2.50 US is about $3 or $4 Australian, and a dozen was like $3 to $5 depending if they were free range or not. And some like organic eggs would be even more expensive. Sejuk, 35, since you started HRT, DH by at least 5. Look, I'm not flirting or anything, Sejuk, but you look pretty good when you came on the stream. Just saying. Still okay eating eggs from bird flu and chicken? Yeah, it's the farms that have bird flu have been quarantined. You doing your own free range? Nice. There you go. I'm with the government agency that's responsible for managing avian flu. I haven't done any volunteer stuff. Guy on my team did. He did 2 weeks out at farms that had infections doing cleanup. So yeah, it's a hoot working for the Department of Environment. So yes, Safa Sejuk has discovered the elixir of youth, hormone replacement therapy. Yes. Am I personally in charge of bird flu? No, I personally have nothing to do with it. I just work for the government department that's responsible for managing it. And yes, like they were calling for heaps of people to volunteer to actually go out to the farms that were under quarantine and do the cleanup stuff. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, Justin, but fuck it, I will lean towards you're right, Justin. Just making conversation. Again, Safa, I don't do shit. Luigi, you're in farm country? Not seeing the price of eggs, telling people and talking about we get first pick. Well, you'd think that if the farms were in your area, you'd get first pick. Yeah. It's been weird. Like people panic buy, which makes everything worse. But yeah, it's the whole thing. The various strains of avian flu are incredibly destructive. In fact, they're worse to wild birds than they are to, poultry that are kept on farms. So it's a whole. So getting fat in your face gives more youthful appearance. I love it. They should make a movie, World Without Eggs. People get, you got to defend your eggs, Olivia. Yeah, but I'm so low profile now. But you are definitely right, Justin. I do more shit. Look, dude, I did a decent shit today. I'll tell you that much. So, what's the big things we want in the apocalypse? Eggs and toilet paper. Yes, yes. We're not recommending HRT willy nilly. Only when it's a thing. Yeah, then we do recommend it in most cases. I was being facetious. But it's kind of like, okay, this is not the same at all, but I'm just like, when people discover a medication that's needed for one thing has a different effect, like the Ozempic and related uh, weight loss things, which was what was it? It was a diabetes treatment. And they found out that people who don't have diabetes take it, they lose weight, which is bad for people with diabetes because they run out of medication. Shrooms, good food. But what's the meme I love that I saw on that? Like, hat tip to our ancestors who worked out what's what with shrooms. They're like eventually like, yeah, those ones taste like meat. Those ones will kill you. And those ones will make you talk to God for a week. There was an Ozempic shortage. I kind of think that's over now, but I'm not sure. Hey, Harry, how are you doing? Yeah, that's okay. Lurk a bit at work. Keep you a bit of company for, another 20 minutes. Mushrooms are the chicken of the woods. Nice. I've never heard that, but I like it. Madam Butterfly, if you had to go vegan, oh yeah, I would. Because honestly, it would be better for me to go vegan. And I swear to God, vegan doesn't have to be healthy. You can be unhealthy as fuck and be vegan. Just deep fry all your vegetables. But yeah, I just don't go vegan because I'm super lazy. I cooking the mushrooms in oil. I fucking love mushrooms. Mushrooms are great. Sedgwick, you have to go do internet spaceship. Oh, you're doing Eve. Okay, cool. Have a nice evening yourself. Enjoy an evening of Eve Online. Yes, and that. Well, I think the big issue with Ozempic might be as yet unknown side effects. But yes, if you stop using the drug, the weight comes back. But also, what I've read is Ozempic has a psychological effect, like you don't have the desire to eat. And if you go off it, when you go off it, the desire to eat comes back and you put the weight back on. So, yeah. But yeah, I would have to admit, every single time there's been some miracle weight loss thing, it's always turned out to have some particularly awful side effect. And as yet, I don't believe a particularly awful side effect has been identified for Ozempic. Sorry, yawning. But I do kind of feel like it's just a matter of time until they discover what the horrible side effect of Ozempic is. But I could be wrong. Maybe it doesn't. But yeah, there is the basic thing of what you need most of all are lifestyle changes. And when you look at the people who are positive about Ozempic, they talk about making it easier to make lifestyle changes. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's not. I'm just extremely wary of, hey, we've got a drug that will help you lose weight. It's like, oh, okay. Exactly. It could be years before we're aware of an adverse side effect. Not being a guinea pig. Yeah. But that's the thing, like, don't know if you've noticed, but every couple of years, a new fascinating idea about weight loss comes out, and none of them seem to stand the test of time. They were like, what stands the test of time is have a balanced diet, limit processed food, limit the amount of meat you eat, particularly red meat. Like just eat food, minimize processed food, make most of the food you eat plants. That's like a shorthand for probably long-term sustainable healthy life. Again, there's massive variation between god, I yawn once and I can't stop yawning. But that's probably the number one thing from health and weight management. Oh yeah, Atkins was huge for a while. And there's some definitely sort of dodgy fucking things there. Justin, you tried weight loss drugs, but kept resistance drug. Yeah, the drug alone is not a good thing. Fruit juice. Oh God, that's not good. Oh, nice. Bought flights for holiday in August. Did you miss early? I decided for the Easter weekend, Mrs. Angry and I are going away. It's like distillery time. One of the distilleries I like is having a special event. And it's my birthday on the Easter weekend. So it's like, yeah, boy, going away and having a good old time on the Easter weekend. That's going to be fucking awesome. Doing Brizzy in August. That's right. We talked about this. The Brizzy theme park zoos, then Uluru. Nice. Yeah. Well, shit yourself is a real side effect of a lot of things that have been touted as weight loss miracles before. Crave human skill. I mean, yeah. Eyeballs, dick fall out. Yeah. Arsehole starts bleeding. That's a real one. Come home. Yes. You're going up to Queensland for Rums? See if you can get to Beanley while you were there. Like Bundy's the big name one, but Beanley is the oldest still running distillery in Australia, I think. I don't know if there's any rums where we're going. Definitely gins and a few other things, but we'll see. I'm not a big gambler, Olivia. Also, would it be more accurate with how you pronounce your username to shorten it to Levi or Livio? Just out of interest. Sorry, but I said once I started yawning, I was just going to keep yawning. I do have heaps of gin, but fuck it, why not more? Yeah, but yeah, I'm doing tours I'm doing tours. There's one gin distillery is trying to grow all the botanicals for their gins, and they're doing a special day where it's like a tour of their farm where they're growing all the stuff that goes into their gin, and then gin tasting and cheese plate. And I'm just like, yep, because they were really cool people. We visited this one before, but there's a couple of other places to visit while we're there. So yeah. Sorry, Justin. Yawns architecture. Levi. Thank you. Okay, I will shorten it to Levi because I like to shorten things. Oh yeah. Starwood were really going in with an F1 promo. Oh shit! You know who's tempting me though? Speaking of local booze makers, Marionette, who do fruit liqueurs and do extremely good fruit liqueurs. They really tempted me. I went to a pop up. I went with Dr. Abigail and Kirsten. It was promoted. It was promoting their elderflower liqueur, which was friggin' amazing, really good. But they just emailed me a super limited edition. They've done a partnership with the number one cocktail bar in Melbourne, in Australia, Caretaker's Cottage. This limited edition fruit liqueur that they made for this. They're like, hey, we've just got a few bottles. You could buy one too. So I'm super fucking tempted. Yeah, the yawning it's essentially a form of hypnosis. Oh, okay, the wine out of the barrel. I did that. Sorry. So 2 of the barrels, one has Ned's whiskey in it. I was talking about this earlier. It might have been before you joined Home for the Oldie. One's got Ned's whiskey, cheap whiskey, and from the other cheap whiskeys, it's like 4 months is good to turn them into something yummy. But I'll probably taste it at 2 months, which would be after I come back from the Easter weekend. Second one's got the rye new make spirit, a blend of 2 different rye new make spirits in there. I'm maybe going to leave that in there for 6 months to have a rye whiskey. The third one had red wine in it for, I don't know, a couple of weeks or maybe a month. I made a batch of my favorite liqueur, the brown sugar syrup liqueur, that's like equal parts spiced apple brown sugar syrup, rum, whiskey, and brandy. And I'm going to barrel age that for a week or 2. I think there are some road tolls in Brisbane. I'm not sure. Wondering. I don't know that the weather has any effect on sleep apnea. I just use my machine. Hey, Celtic, nice to see you just before bedtimes. I'm not sure if I can do that, Harry. Hypnotize you to speak like an Aussie? We could try. Yeah, so you knew about Ned's wine. Yeah, so the last one had red wine. Yeah, it had red wine in it. And I just, in the last couple of days, put the liqueur in it. And I'm thinking, leave the liqueur in it for a week or 2, just so all the flavors combine and gets a bit of the barrel flavor. And then I'll decant it, and I'll probably put wine back into the barrel, because the liqueur will then also pick up some of the wine flavor as well. Mythbusters found human mouth has more bacteria than a dog's mouth. Yes, that's why I only tongue-kiss dogs. Thanks, Celtic. Wouldn't be a night without you saying that, mate. So yes, I'm going to have a super tasty batch of my signature liqueur. Who knows? I might. Well, actually, if I have a whole batch of it, I want to share some of it. Some special mail outs. Who knows? Who knows what might happen? But I'm thinking, yeah, leave that for a week. I'll taste that. I'll taste the liqueur in the barrel next Friday night, party night. See what it's tasting like. See if I think it would benefit from another week in the barrel. And yes, well, Mythbusters did the science. It was, what did Adam Savage used to say? The difference between science and screwing around is writing it down. And validity. When I go to cocktail angry shorts, go through the shirts easily. Yeah. I've got like 40 shirts. Oh gosh, VD got alcohol. Honestly, he's probably safer in hospital than anywhere else. Wait, what did I do wrong, Madam Butterfly? Oh, was that in? Okay, no, I just that's probably a reaction to me saying because human mouths have more bacteria than dog mouths. I only tongue kiss dogs. I, I'm thinking that's what that was in reaction to. The delay between me saying something and you hearing it, and then me seeing any of your comments about it means I get confused. I generally get confused very easily, but that specific thing confuses me easily. So, yeah, no, yeah, that was it. It was the dogs thing. Dogs are the best people, as the song goes, Kelty. Maybe, maybe that was jealousy. It's kind of like when you get those ridiculous factoids, um, like human mouths have more bacteria. It's obviously not dangerous to us. The amount of spit swapping that goes on, and one it was like on QI that like, oh, the average sort of kitchen bench has more bacteria than the toilet seat. And I remember uh, David, what's his name, was on the panel for that one. And he's going, yes, you keep bringing up things like this. And I'm not saying it's not true, but it obviously doesn't matter because, you know, you do occasionally get food poisoning from your own kitchen, but broadly, you don't. Yeah, and the phone has more bacteria than right. But it's like, you know, because the joke is like if a toilet seat has less bacteria than a kitchen sink, I'll prepare my food on the toilet seat. But obviously, the dominant ones on a toilet seat are fucking E. coli. And as soon as you used it for food prep, it would be all the bacteria that's on a kitchen surface plus the toilet bacteria. It's obviously, it may be technically true, but it's also borderline meaningless. Oh God, I remember every now and then something from a doctor gets regurgitated by all these media outlets, particularly online media outlets, and it's like always some sort of horseshit. There was one recent, okay, actually, I can think of two recently that pissed me off because they were complete fucking bollocks. One was, oh, this doctor warns why you shouldn't have your phone on the toilet. And I go, this is going to be the thing that, you know, all the bacteria settles on it, and you get American. Oh, Mrs. Angry's gone to bed. I'm going to go to bed in a minute. I'll just let her know. Yeah, so this doctor's saying you shouldn't be on the phone in the toilet, and I thought, oh, this is going to be this thing about, you know, the when you flush the toilet, all the poo germs go up in the air, and it wasn't. It's just this ridiculous thing about you'll sit on the toilet too long and you'll get hemorrhoids, and it's going, that's so fucking unscientific. Like, did you have control groups and do a double blind study? No, you just literally went, I think this might be a thing, and you fucking made that up. Another one was this, you know, doctor talks about why you shouldn't pee in the shower. And I think she was particularly talking about women. But it was like, it was this grand theory that if you pee in the shower, the running water you'll associate with peeing. So when there's running water, you'll have to pee. Like, first, that's been kind of broadly established that with a lot of people, running water makes them want to pee anyway. But second, again, completely unscientific. Just going, I reckon. It's like, did you do a double blind study of with a sufficiently large sample of people peeing in the shower? No, it's just literally just when I reckon, and because I'm a doctor, I can say it and put it on a website, and all these fuckwit in the media will repurpose it. And she even threw this thing about, oh, besides peeing in the toilet's gross. It's peeing in the toilet's not gross. Grow the fuck up. It's a natural bodily function, and it's not a particularly dangerous one from a disease point of view. Urine doesn't really spread disease. It's not like shitting in the shower. God, you get some people who recommend shitting in the shower. I'm like, ew, no. But peeing in the shower, it's just like, no. And again, this person saying, oh, it's gross. It's like, it's not gross. Grow the fuck up. That's childish. So I'm going to leave you with that, okay? Peeing in the shower is not gross. You know, so long as the shower's still running and you wash down drain. So the pipes all connect. Well, don't shower in the pee? I don't know. There's some people who are really into that. Not me. And I tell you what, I have actually come into contact with people in my life who were into it. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to yuck your yum, as the saying goes, but no. See you on Tuesday? I mean, probably. You know, unless I end up having dinner with my offspring on a Tuesday, which I can't predict. I'll be talking to them during the week. Who knows? What am I watching tomorrow? Probably Wheel of Time. I mean, there'll be an episode of White Lotus that we'll watch, but also the first few episodes of Wheel of Time are on Prime. So probably watch on that. Yeah, that's an exit. We're exiting on pee. Peeing in the shower is not gross. Grow up. It's a bodily function. And I'll probably be back on Tuesday. So you'll take care until then. But I'll say bye for now.